G'day guys and welcome back today to another video on the Druzy channel. Today we're talking about my beloved Fremantle Dockers heading into this 2024 season. I'm excited. From what I've seen in the intra-clubs and the scratch match against West Coast, there are signs I believe that we have improved, and today I'm going to talk about 5 things to expect from Fremantle's 2024 season. I'll be following the AFL very closely, round by round this year. So if you want a fresh voice rather than what you hear on the TV, I'll be here all season. So make sure you subscribe if you're new and like the videos to support the channel. It helps massively. So let's get into 5 things to expect from the Freo Dockers this season. Number 1, a better balanced midfield. The contrast between our midfield's efficiency from 2022 to 2023 was night and day. Obviously, heading into 2023, we lost Blake Acres and David Mundy, 2 very experienced AFL players, but I didn't really think we would have dropped as drastically as we did. And I think you can really put the form of Freo in 2023 massively on the form of our midfield and how much we didn't really realise that Blake Acres and David Mundy provided for our success in 2022. Will Brodie couldn't really crack a game last year, and I think that comes down to some personal issues. I'm genuinely not sure, because the form that he showed in 2022 gave no reason for him to be dropped last year. So this season, I expect a better balanced midfield. And how do we achieve that? I think Hayden Young and Will Brodie coming back into that midfield mix provides a lot of balance. I feel like without David Mundy and Will Brodie consistently in that midfield, Andy Brayshaw had to bear the brunt of a lot of our midfield. He was the one that had to face the best player every week. He had to be the midfield bull, putting his head over the footy, being that shovel that Will Brodie is, and then he sort of had to play a defensive role as well to give the backs a chop out. But I believe adding Hayden Young, he can play that sort of quarterback role, where he's that defensive mid-type that sort of sits behind the stoppage, the sweeper, and I think that allows Brayshaw and Sarong to do what they do best. I feel like Will Brodie and Hayden Young will be used interchangeably as that sort of defensive mid. Not to mention Nat bloody Fife. He's had the best preseason he's had in years. He's looking really good. Had 20 disposals in a half, 18 effective disposals, the stats said, from that match sim against West Coast. So the midfield should be a lot stronger, and I know the coaches have gone to work on the method to get the midfield mix right. So I think you can expect Freo's midfield to not only improve, but be well balanced and more consistent in 2024. Number 2. Improved ball movement from the back half. Last year was weird. Trying to get the ball out of our defence at time was just didn't make sense. Over handballing, disposing the ball too much, and then a lot of the time was just kicks side to side. Now, I'm no football coach. I don't know how to get the ball from the back line to the forward line to kick 6 points. But obviously, it's been an area that the coaches have massively focused on this offseason. I think Jordan Clark has had a massive offseason. He's looked really good from what I've seen, so he's going to continue to provide that dash and disposal off half-back. I think adding James Aish just brings another cool head into half-back, maybe replacing that sort of Brandon Walker role, who isn't the most composed player in our team, let's just say. But I think Aish with Jordan Clark providing a bit of run and disposal, and then you'll probably have like Hayden Young and Will Brodie, those guys from the midfield, dropping deep when needed. So you'd expect a bit of a hit up, quick handball receive, and we're off and we're flying. So I hope to see in 2024 the movement of the pill from the back half to the front half has much improved, and I think we will. Number 3, the class of 2021 announced themselves to the league. What a draft that was. Erasmus, Amos, and Matt Johnson. 3 picks within the top 21, and Amos has already announced himself as one of the most exciting forward prospects in the league. Kicked over 40 goals last season. So young, he's so coachable. He's got such a high footy IQ, and that was highlighted for me in the game against West Coast last weekend. How has Tracy just been left alone inside 50? I know it's West Coast, and they're absolutely terrible defensively, but how has a key forward got a mark like that? And it's just Amos off the ball, drawing 2 defenders and blocking for Tracy for him to lead. And that's something that I haven't really seen too much of. So I think the chemistry between Amos and Tracy will continue to evolve. Matthew Johnson, he is an absolute star, this kid. One of my favourite players to watch at the moment for Freo. He's just so well balanced. He's composed on the ball. He looks calm in traffic. He's a really effective use of the footy as well. He averages about 80% disposal efficiency, which is above average. I'm pretty sure that's elite. Can play inside and out. He will announce himself to the league this year as that next wave of Freo young talent coming through. We already know Amos and Johnson are there, but Neil Erasmus He's just a pro. He's absolutely dedicated to his craft as a footballer. And whilst he hasn't probably been as impressive as Johnson and Amos yet, I just have faith that he's got a lot of talent. He's got a brilliant kick on him inside 50, which is what we've been lacking. I think if we can get him ahead of the contest in space, he could really be effective at delivering that ball inside 50. He's fit, young, and exciting. These are still really young players we need to remember. But I reckon in 2021, you'll see Jai Amos kick close to 50 goals. Matt Johnson start to rack up more of the ball. And Neil Erasmus doing a lot of good things as well, which should take some pressure off the other core players and should add some depth to this list. Number 4, goals. What to expect from Freo? Goals. 6-pointers. Go. The general public don't like watching Freo, and I can't blame them sometimes. When the ball movement isn't clean, when we're getting dominated around the stoppage, we find it hard to score goals. But the key themes of this preseason that I've heard is team defense and better contest sort of thing. So I believe if we get those things right, we should get more goals. Hopefully it translates up the field. More opportunities for the forwards to get to work with more clearances. We didn't struggle for goals in 2022. And I think guys like Frederick, Emmett, and Walters are going to play a key role in this. I feel like you'll see Frederick, Walters, and Emmett getting up the ground a bit more, getting a bit more of the footy, leaving the 50 empty for guys like Amos, Tracy, Sam Sturt, Luke Jackson, guys like that to be one out. Because if you're one out against Luke Jackson, you're going to have a real hard time stopping him. Same goes for Amos and Tracy. So I think our forward line, honestly, is probably getting there. We've been struggling for a long time to find a good mix, but I'm confident that Luke Jackson, Jai Amos, and Josh Tracy are 3 good, big, key forwards who are not just good in the air. Like, for instance, Matt Taberner, right? Decent mark when it's put on his chest. As soon as the ball is either left or right of him, he's pretty useless, let's be real. And as soon as the ball goes to ground level, he's pretty much non-existent. You compare that to Jai Amos, who early on in his career has been compared to someone like a Jeremy Cameron, someone that can make an impact at ground level, who's fast, who's quick, athletic, but can crash packs and take big marks. Josh Tracy, light on his feet, but he's a big boy. He can run through packs. He's absolutely fearless. Then Luke Jackson gets played as a midfielder sometimes. He makes a massive impact at ground level, follow-up tackles, etc. So there's really no reason that this forward line shouldn't work over time. Obviously, it'll take time for them to gel and evolve. They're still all really young. I'm certain that Jai Amos, Josh Tracy, and Luke Jackson are all younger than me. Imagine how I feel talking about these people that are younger than me. They are so young. They just need time to gel. And then not to mention our small forwards. Walters, he's just handy for a goal or two a game. Tom Emmett should come in and fill that Lockie Schultz role. You know, you can't exactly replace Lockie Schultz, but Tom Emmett can become his own man, and I could see him becoming a fan favourite at Freo. He's got that X factor, those moments of brilliance. There's probably players I'm missing, but you get the drift. More goals in 2024. And number 5, consistency. If you made a compilation of every time Justin Longmuir said consistency over the last 2 years, it'd probably go for a good 25 to 30 minutes, I reckon, because that is the one thing that we cannot bring. Yes, our best footy is good, but it isn't good enough for long enough. We've had some massive results last year, beating Geelong away, Melbourne away, Sydney away. Those are 3 massive away wins. We went down to the wire with Brisbane, etc. These results over the last few years are the ones that you look back on and go, why can't we just play like that every week? If we played like that, we would be a threat for any side. And our best footy is as good as any top 4 side when it's on and when it's played for 4 quarters. We haven't been able to start fast, which has affected our ability to work into games. So we just need a consistent 4-quarter effort for 23 rounds, and we will be in a great spot to have a good season this year. And I'm confident, as a biased fan, that we will do that and we will perform more consistently in 2024. There we go. There's 5 things I expect of the Freo Dockers in 2024. Before you click off the video, if you could please leave a like, it helps the channel massively, and get down in the comments and have your say. We'll try to build a bit of a Freo Dockers community this year on the Druzy channel. So get down below. I'll be responding to the comments. Get amongst it. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care, you plonkers.